Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Bread's Bakery broadcast. I am your host, Bread MG. I remembered to intro myself this time, like a normal person would. Today we are doing a catch-up episode for the Nitrox League. So that's weeks 1 through 5. Half the season in one big episode. Normally, I would like to go through each race and point out some clips and things that happened and talk about some crashes and get real in-depth with it, speculate on things for the next race, but we have a lot to talk about, so I'm not doing that today. So this is basically just an extended Cobalt's Couch. It's going to feel about the same, but it won't stay that way. And I've got some guests with me. Some of the same guests from last time, but one had to go. So Foot has been kicked from the counter and put back in a chair. I've got RJ with me.
Hello again.
I've got Footloose with me.
Howdy, everybody.
And then I've got Gunner once again.
I'm being trapped here against my will.
No, you're not. Don't tell anybody otherwise. Will never come on my show. It's not prison unless it can be. Whatever you're into, I don't care. Welcome in. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Doing decent.
You guys ready to record the second half of an episode that was definitely not previously done, that had to be re-recorded?
Absolutely, I'm ready.
Cool. Awesome. So we'll be talking about these fun teams up on the right side of the screen. These are our Nitrox teams. They are very cool and very based. And if I say anything otherwise, I will be beat up. So, and as a piece of bread, I don't think I'll fare very well. So we're just going to, say what they want to hear, and we'll move on. Am I being too mean?
No.
Okay.
No,
It's all in jest for sure.
Is it, though? Or am I being serious? I can't tell. I'm kidding.
I
All right,
think I can tell.
Is anything fun to talk about before we get started?
I don't think so.
No. Foot, you fight any alligators today?
I did. I fought one.
How'd it go?
More than me.
Go get the mail. I jumped on its back and I taped its mouth shut.
Hey, good job. Like a pro.
Exactly.
Cool. So when I go silent halfway through this episode, it's because I'm watching the telly, as the Brits would call it. I'm kidding. I'm not actually doing that. All right, let's do this. Let's get started. We're going to jump right in. We've already did a lot of small talk. We're definitely not recording this the same day as the Acceleron video, except without Gore. Definitely not. So
We're not doing that.
No,
Absolutely not.
Never do anything like that. It's a totally
Never,
different day.
ever.
It's the day.
Totally different day. See, I
This
changed
was
my
recorded
shirt.
on the day it was uploaded because, obviously, why would anybody do it any differently?
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about some of these teams. This is one of our new teams. I don't know why I did them in the order I did them on here. It might have been based on point standings. But this is one of our new teams, Hyperspace Renegades. It is owned and captained by Nader, and the co-captain is RJ. RJ, you want to tell us about your team?
Yeah, sure, I guess. So originally, Nader actually had a completely different idea for what the team was actually supposed to be themed around, but unfortunately, Mateus had a very similar idea for what his team was going to be, so he actually confronted me to actually go for a team theme for this season. And I did all the liveries for her team due to that as well. Most of them, actually. Mickey actually did his own livery for this season.
Awesome. Very cool. I know we've had some changes to rosters, like G11 stepped away, if I recall correctly.
That's correct.
We'll dive into that in the next video where we talk about leading up to week 6. I plan on going through all the roster changes. But you want to tell us about the rest of your roster?
Sure. So, Joltout is currently having problems with the game on his end as to why you haven't seen him race yet. Mainly due to him being Australian with the desync and all that, so he's waiting for a better opportunity.
That's unfortunate about the desync.
Yeah.
Gambler's been having issues with his game. There's a major desync that happens at the beginning of every race he's in that causes him to stay at the starting line at different amounts of time. So sometimes it'd be 1 second. I heard it's like 3 seconds sometimes, so that's pretty rough for him. G11 picked bad to the blade. That should speak for itself. Other than that, everything seems to be going pretty well for the team as of right now.
Yeah, bad to the blade, to anybody who doesn't actually know, is very bad. It's a painfully bad car in this game, unfortunately. Yes. So, that would explain the issues there. I love the theme for this team.
Thanks.
Color scheme and everything, super cool. I'll be honest, I'm not super familiar with a lot of the liveries. I've not had a chance to look at your guys' liveries, but I trust that you guys have done an awesome job with them. Like, I'm sure. I've seen them in the videos, but I just never made a super huge mental note on them. Yeah.
I think
I'll be honest, I haven't seen a whole lot of the liveries. I've seen some, but I haven't raced a whole lot in Nitrox.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, how dare you talk about your team and your driving situation before you get to your team, Foot?
You know, that's
shameful.
Our bad.
Gosh. Yeah, so, cars. You've got them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Everyone's got a car.
We got a Swift, a Balance, a Swift in Disguise, a Swift in Disguise, a Rocket, an Off-Roader, and a Swift on our team.
Pretty solid lineup. I always forget that the drag bus is a Swift in Disguise. That thing is hilarious.
It's massive.
It is.
Yeah.
Synchro is a Swift now?
Yes,
it is.
Yeah, it is.
That's crazy.
Footloose is about to be like, give me that thing. I'm back.
Yeah, I was going to say, from Unleashed 1, I handled like a balanced car. So, it's unfortunate. But Swiss are actually meta, so maybe I'll have to try it.
I've not seen too many people use it. I think it's because a lot of people used Synchro in the first game, so they're like, I don't want you anymore.
Yeah.
To be fair, it is one of the weaker Swifts in this game, but that being said, it is still an extremely good car that I actually might have considered for this season. But Drag Bus ended up being it out amongst other cars anyway.
I feel like the drag bus fits your brand.
I have no idea what my plan is at this point.
Picking wacky cars for stuff. I feel like you're one of the guys. I feel like you're one of the people who will willingly commit to like a wackier car choice for a whole season.
Yeah, it happened once.
It sure did.
Happened once.
It definitely did. Oh man, those season 4 flashbacks hurt me a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
But,
you had a rough start that season.
Yeah. But
I mean, you make that drag bus, you make it go.
That thing,
it's a good fucking car.
It's crazy. It's crazy to watch. You just don't, I mean, it is a drag bus. It's like, whoa, of course the drag bus is going to be quick. But it's like, when you see it, it doesn't really... It's just a giant billboard, but god dang is it thing fast. Like, holy crap. I am very familiar with the livery on the drag bus, because I see it a lot. And I think it's super cool looking.
Yeah.
I love That's the only one that I'm really familiar with, though. Outside of that, I admittedly not paid
You
super
don't
close
know
attention.
the Goku on the split image?
Wait, what?
Yep, that's Nader's. That's on Nader's livery.
Wait, really?
Goku.
Holy
Yeah,
crap!
there's
Oh, I gotta
He
find
originally,
it.
If you look at the DMR thumbnail for the WRU video,
Oh, that's
right
right.
there.
That's right. That's right. Oh man, I gotta hang on. I gotta go find it. Give me a sec.
yeah, he's right there. When I took that screenshot, I was like, all right, I want to get Goku in the frame.
Hang on, I gotta go. I gotta run it.
He's
Hang
got
on, I gotta go find it. I gotta find it.
Yeah,
Oh, that's Rally Alley. Hey, yo, what the fuck? It is! I didn't even realize that was fucking Goku. What the... Oh, my God. Okay, well, yeah, that's sweet. That's sweet. Okay, I didn't even notice that. What the hell?
Sorry for the detour, people.
No,
but
that's what we're all
Goku's
about.
important.
That's what we're all about. Okay.
Sometimes you gotta take the scenic route.
Yeah, I mean, we're here to have fun. If we get off topic, it's just how it goes. We're all about it. All right, on to our next team. This is Shaded Speeders. The team is owned by Kami, but it is captained by Matthias, who came up with the theme for the team.
I gotta say, I love the theme. I love the shaded aspect.
Yeah.
It makes the cars look like they came out of a cartoon. It's really cool and unique.
Awesome.
These guys just said, hey, there's a car in that manga. I want it.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I
it
mean,
looks
it looks super cool.
it looks like they have a pretty good lineup of cars too.
Yeah.
A couple Swifts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you've got Matthias, you have Edward, Exceller, Joda, Maurice, Excel, and then we have Jarl.
Give me just 1 second real quick.
One Mississippi.
Swift, a rocket, Swift in disguise, a rocket, and a rocket. A lot of rockets in this team.
Yeah, they
it looks
really
like.
did go
Yeah.
rocket heavy, which is unexpected.
Yeah, there's only like 3 Swifts technically in this team,
It's true.
and the rest are rockets.
But yeah,
Rockets aren't bad by any means.
no, not at all. Not bad at all.
I'm surprised to not see a balanced car.
Yeah, I think there are some tracks that do favor balanced cars in particular, but I will point out that we've seen Jumpy do very well in rockets in Acceleron, so you definitely can make a legit rocket do a substantial amount of work.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I just think that perhaps there might be a bit of a struggle during off-road sections.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Swifts do pretty well on them, though.
Do
They
they?
do.
Yeah.
Alright.
Swifts are weird, man. I feel like they handle pretty well off-road, which just seems kind of wrong, but it feels like they do.
Yeah. I get what you're talking about.
Yeah,
The drivers on this lineup are pretty interesting. Obviously, we know Matthias is a very capable driver.
Mm-hmm.
Joda,
Yes.
a very capable, accomplished driver. We know Jarl is a very good driver. We have seen Edward race. It had been a minute since we'd seen Edward. Glad to see Edward back in the league, in the Nissan. Do you guys remember how Edward did when he raced? I know he raced at least once, right?
yeah, he did. For Industrial Riot, I believe.
Right. And I don't remember, have we seen either Exceller or Excel yet?
I think we might have seen Exceller once. I'll look at the volumes real quick if I could find them.
I know Maurice has been busy and has not had a chance to race. I think Excel had some stuff come up as well and hadn't been able to be around.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Exceller took last season off, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Exceller did take last season off. A lot of drivers took, I think Edward did as well, a lot of drivers took a season off because it was the last season of the first game, and we took a season off of doing videos and everything. It was just a good time if you wanted like a long break to kind of reset.
Yeah.
This was a good time to do it.
It's exciting to see Exceller back behind the wheel.
I agree. Like one of the Xbox staples,
Yeah.
It's always fun to see him come back.
Exceller always has a good attitude in the voice chats as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I found the podium. So Edward got 6th place in his race, and Exceller got 10th.
Oh, so Exceller has raced. Awesome. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good to have them back. So yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good team that Matthews has put together, all things considered, and pretty solid car lineup. We'll go ahead and head on to our next team. This is BSB, Bone Shaker Bashers, Thrash Again Done, and that's the last time you'll ever hear me say the full team name.
Who keeps giving this British boy a team?
Oh man, holy shit, who was that? Sorry. Fucking
F1.
F1 started, and I think I just watched Perez just overdrive the first corner big time. Holy shit.
So, right off the bat, notable racer, Killer Frost.
Yes.
He went over here.
It's a big pickup.
That's crazy. That's really big.
Yeah, Dan?
Found out where he went.
And Dan Dude's no slouch either.
Yes. He's in the Bone Shaker Unleashed, which is a drifter, which is thumbs down, but at least it has 5 pips, which thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Chase Fox, 99s and Ballistic.
I think Chase Fox, spoiler alert, does not drive for this team anymore.
No, yeah, he got dropped.
Dang.
I have personal opinions about that. I'm not going to dive into it.
I also have personal opinions, but
It is what it is.
That's a next week kind of thing.
It's a, if at all, yeah. Judas is in the excuse me.
The Honda S2000.
Yes, sorry, my illness kicked up for a second there.
No, you're good.
S2K, yep, very good car. Judas has been a pretty good driver. He spent most of last season just doing Street League, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was not bad in that role, in that league.
Pretty good. He's good.
And we mentioned Killer Frost before, but they're driving Fast Fish.
That's all. No, that's Balanced, right? Balanced?
That's Rocket.
It's a rocket.
It's a rocket? Oh my goodness.
Fast Fish is a rocket.
But
It's a rocket fish.
what? Why did I think it was... At first I thought it was Drifter, and then I course corrected to Balanced and was wrong both times. Wow, I'm an idiot. Then they have Velocity in the MST Suzuka.
And that's the drift.
The Bold Edition, apparently. I think that was... I think Basher.
SG's also a rocket.
I'm a mess this episode. I think Basher wrote that. No, sorry, Dasher wrote that. I don't know why it's like that, though. And then they also have Spleezu in the Volkswagen. However, I think I've heard that Spleezu broke his thumb.
Yeah.
Oh.
As well.
And that will be something we'll talk a lot more about in the next video, but that will impact the rest of their season probably, because I don't think Spleezu will be available to drive for them going forward. So
No, I don't think so.
That's unfortunate.
it's a good lineup, but it's now got a couple of holes poked in it due to some issues. But the last driver is a rookie, and that's F1 Wolf Racer, and very, very capable driver. Think Advanced from the Acceleron video. Except maybe even as fast, if not faster. F1 Wolf Racer is like an absolute badass.
They're in the Honda Civic EF. What is that? Is that a Swift?
It's the other Civic.
It is a Swift,
the one that's
yes.
not banned.
Yes, it is the non-banned Swift. Is that the one that's really small, or is that the City
It's the
Turbo?
box. They're both boxes.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, it's
So
okay.
the
I can
EF
never.
is like one that's like an actual like hatchback, and then the City Turbo is just a fucking block.
Okay, I can never remember, man. They're so similar. It's like I can't differentiate them in my mind. I don't know why that is, but it just is that way. But yeah, this is another like a super solid lineup. This is actually okay. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say it like this. This is one of the best like full rosters Danube has ever had for a team. If you ignore the fact that his last team had Kami on it for half the season.
Well, Kami last season had some unfortunate disconnects happen.
Yes. So these guys have generally better connection. They've got great cars. It's a good lineup. They're not, and that's the other thing, right? Last time BSB existed, wasn't their gimmick all bar cars?
Something like that.
No, I think it was just.
No,
know.
I thought it only used bar cars.
No, that would have been Dan, but.
Are you sure? I could have sworn is they had like Aphex on the Cadillac, if I recall correctly. Jarl on, was it Bump Around?
It was in fact Bump Around.
Yeah.
I don't think his gimmick was
Yep.
bar specifically, but.
And then what was Den in? Den was in Twin Mill, but wasn't it the Twin Mill that was bar, or was it not? No,
I think it wasn't, but you could switch between them, so
Yeah, that was the.
I guess
Right.
it counts.
Right. So I think Den might have actually used the Twin Mill with Pips. So maybe not. But hey, I mean, most of their team was bar cars. I feel like that was part of their thing at the time. They're not sticking with that this time. They're taking it a bit more seriously. Have a great lineup, good cars, and I think this might be Dan's best chance to keep a team.
I mean, in this game, you can switch from bar to pip, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, of course, but I guess my point
Yeah.
is they're not using them in the bar setup,
Yes.
which is good.
I still find it
Yeah.
just funny that one of the main guys who said ban all Swifts, yet 4 of his team's cars here are Swifts.
Hey man, like I
Ironic.
said, got to do what you got to do to
Yep.
get the wins. He's taking it more seriously. He may not like the Swifts, but we're
Following
trying
the
to.
meta.
Yep, got to do what you got to do. You want your team to live, you gotta make the decisions that help your team live.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and we'll go ahead and move on to Chroma Striders. I feel like I should not have to say a word. I've got 2 of you in here, and it's the captain and the co-captain. So I'll let you guys have at it. Tell me about your team.
So yeah, very colorful team as you can see from the icon in the top right there.
Yes.
It's like making the liveries for this team was a little hard, considering that there's 4 primary colors. And overall, I mean, we've got a good diversity of cars.
It's true. Our roster is very diverse.
3 Balance, 2 Swifts, 2 Rockets.
It's a good mix of everything, except drift, which is bad.
Well, we don't need drifters when we got Balanced
Exactly.
and Swifts. And really anything else that can drift.
So this team is you got a few people from last season, but it's mostly retooled, right?
Yeah, in a sense.
Yeah.
Because brand new people to the league setting, we have Nura and Cinder.
Yes.
And then Beast Loner, he used to race, but then he had a medical complication that came up, and he's been out of it for a long time.
But now he's back.
He is back.
That's awesome. Glad to have him back. MJ is also returning face to the league. Was MJ? MJ missed, I think, part of last season.
Yeah. I think
Maybe.
so as
I
well.
don't remember.
And then returning from, because Chroma Striders, we rebranded into Chroma Striders. We used to be High Rollers.
That is
And-
true.
Yeah.
Returning from Season 5, we have myself, Foot, and Talon.
Oh, yeah. Sorry to interject. I should remind everybody. The BSB team, That is a rebrand of Lucky Strikers.
Yes.
Yep.
I should point that out. It kind of looks like so far we have 4 brand new teams. Only 2 of them are actually new. That's Hyperspace, Renegades, and Shaded Speeders. We just had 2 rebrands as well, which makes this league look brand new.
And
Sort of.
just
Sorry.
to talk about the roster changes in the transition from Unleashed 1 to Unleashed 2 and High Rollers to Chroma Striders, we did lose Rage Rabbits and Bunny. Actually, I think I said that backward. It's Rabbits Rage and Bunny.
Yeah, Bloody Bunny. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I know that.
Yeah.
Rabbit. He actually is. He's in that mid-season draft thing, which will be talked in the next episode.
oh, cool.
So he's on that list.
Nura, very good attitude.
Yeah, he's got a great attitude. It's like
Anytime Nura races.
I think my favorite thing about this team is despite the scorings,
We're
after
always
each
having
race,
fun.
we're like all like congratulating each other for those who race. Like, yeah, you guys did it, yeah. We're all like, yeah,
We're all about positive energy and reinforcement.
yeah.
That's great. I'm glad. I'm also also glad I tossed the baton to you guys when I did, because I had a mega coughing fit I had to deal with while you guys were talking about that.
But we've got
Sorry.
fun cars. Gunners and Reverb, which is how would you rate Reverb in the balanced class? It's up there pretty well, I'd say.
It's really depending on who you ask.
That's fair.
'Cause some people say it's like below average, it's above average, it is average. It's just whoever you ask will probably have a different opinion on it. I like it. The only problem I have, the main problem I have, there's 2. There's one, keeping in mind the length of the car going into turns, because it's kind of a long bastard. And then this is what we touched, and it has an issue which we kind of slightly touched up on the Acceleron video, where going from like magnets, and if there's a ramp, Reverb loves to bounce off of those pretty frequently, and
Yeah.
it becomes just a whole gamble. Like I'm going to the Nevada cities.
And we have Beast Loner and Ballistic, which is a great choice because Ballistic is swift.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah,
rocking
Swift.
16 Angels.
The normal
because
version, not the
Yep.
STH, the normal
the
version.
normal one. Because 16 Angels is one of the first Hot Wheels cars I ever got. And I just loved the look of it, and it was handling well in the preseason, so I was like, thinking I'm liking this. Remorseless Talon is in the Solaire CX4. What is that
Pretty
that-
good rocket.
Rocket.
All things
Yeah, it's a
considered,
rocket.
yeah. It's a pretty decent rocket.
And we've got MJ and Glory Chaser.
Another decent rocket, I'd say. I'm not really the expert on that. I'm not really an expert on most rockets, so
So the overall breakdown is what? We've got 3...
Rebalance.
Rebalance.
Rockets and chips.
Yeah. That's a really solid grouping. Don't really have anything for off-road, but again, I don't think you always need something to cover off-road. Also no bikes,
Yeah.
but there's no bikes in all of Nitrox,
Yeah.
so that's not really
All the
like...
bikes just got stuck in Acceleron.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not really that huge a deal. You're not really missing out on anything because no other teams are using them. So
And Nura's in the Nissan 400Z, which is Swift.
It is a Swift, yeah.
yes,
And Cinder is in the
GT Scorcher.
GT Scorcher.
All right. Well, that's Chroma Striders.
That's CS.
Yep.
Fun
That's
team.
CS.
Sounds like you guys have good energy and have a good time. So that's great, of course.
Yeah.
let's go ahead and check out our next team. I believe this is the
It's
last
the 15.
team, fifth team here.
Fusion.
This is Fusions. This is the team that just missed out, just barely missed out on Acceleron. But they've also had a bit of an overhaul, if I recall correctly, since last season. So
A
Dasher
major,
is
change up in their roster.
yeah. So Dasher is still the owner and captain. He's driving the S2K. He still has Swole and Dragon P on the team. Swole's in the Suzuka, and Dragon P is in the Super Blitzen. He's got TJ with him, and in the Lancia 037. And then we got we had a new driver, right? Yoda's new.
And he is.
Yep.
He's pretty
He's
good.
fast.
I think
He's a fast guy.
I like. Yeah, Yoda's results are interesting. We'll get to it, but
At one
I don't
point
think-
we had
He's
the
not-
epic Yoda.
yeah, we did have
showdown.
the Yoda showdown in the Bread Bowl, and Yoda came
Where
out on
Yoda
top.
beat out Joda.
Yeah, Yoda beat out Joda. I think we'll see if that happens again. I kind of hope if we get another a rematch
That'd be
at some
really
point.
funny.
It'd be super fun. Maybe in the King of the Mountain challenge at some point. I don't know.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
Probably
You never
not.
know.
Probably
You
not.
gotta stay-
Yeah.
Audience, you gotta stay tuned to know about that, though.
We'll be talking about that next week or next video, whenever it is. Let's say next week, but this could air literally one day before that one releases too. So who knows? But I digress. That's an event coming up, and we'll talk more about it. Pesh. Pesh took a season off, right? Was one of the BSB drivers. Raced like one time. And Pesh came back and is in the Honda Civic. My voice is giving up on me. That's not good.
Yeah. And Pesh is a solid driver for sure.
And then they have Cetus, but if I recall correctly, Cetus has moved on from the team, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe
He's
so.
moved on.
So
Hey, this makes me sad.
Yeah.
Just all these people just kind of like.
it's an awkward time to make a catch-up video because we're also in the middle of the mid-season like roster changes and
Yeah.
so we're kind of talking about some of these teams in the past tense. It wasn't really much of the case in Acceleron because most of those teams did not change at all. But we've had some changes down here in Nitrox, and so it's a little weird talking about them in their past tense.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, it
Mhm.
is what it is. So, yeah.
We'll talk about roster changes in
in the future.
Yeah.
week 6's video.
Yes, the Week 6 preview
Yeah.
episode, which will be the one that airs after this. I don't know when after this, but
I need some speech.
soon. We'll talk about all those changes and stuff. But again, this is a pretty solid team. Interesting lineup. A lot of potential on this lineup, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, there's some drivers on here who have a lot of potential, and it's a matter of just kind of realizing that. Sorry.
TJ, but he is great. He is a great driver, honestly.
Have you just watched him do his streams where he does drifting?
I have not, but I've seen his scores, and they are astronomical.
Yes, he's ridiculously good at drift events.
I'm gonna say this just out on a limb. If anyone in any of these teams can make a drifter really work, it would be him.
Yeah, it was. He sent me. He went live once, and he was taking on Brett's Bakery on the track, not the broadcast.
Yeah.
And he banged me. He's just saying that he was doing it. He was on my track and was streaming it. And he at one point was like, I was watching him go out there. I was like, holy crap. And he had a score, it was in like the lower 2 mil. And I was like, that's crazy because I didn't really do much Drift Master at the time. And he's like, yeah, I'm pushing for 3 mil. Like, it was nothing. He was like, yeah, I think I can easily get 3 mil on this. And I was like, holy crap. Okay, 3 mil. All right. I found out later that I do believe he hit 3 mil. He got a clean lap.
That's
No
absolutely
issues, and
crazy.
and pulled it off. I apologize if I sound off. I'm still recovering from bronchitis, and it's really kind of messing with my voice at the moment. But yeah, so there you go. That's all of our teams. We'll go ahead and start talking about.
Kind of looking at this, the lineup for Fusions is kind of similar to Shaded Speeders, where they have 4 rockets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the breakdown.
They have a drifter with MST Suzuka as well.
No, that's a rocket.
It's a rocket.
Oh, it is a rocket. I don't know why I always think it's a drifter.
Because it looks like one.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah,
That's a whole nother rant. I cannot stand how they classified some of these cars.
Yeah.
Can someone explain to me why Rocket Fire and Power Rocket are not fucking rockets? Can someone explain that to me?
I have no clue.
Make that make sense. Like, what were they thinking? Milestone.
I remember this rant because we both had the same feelings when I went down to Ohio for your wedding, and you booted up Unleashed 2 for the first time. We were both like, why are these cars that are literal rockets not rocket cars?
Doesn't make any sense. I was just like, what?
Yeah.
What is? Why are we? What? Yeah, I was genuinely like irritated, and I don't agree with like. I don't think that the I don't get why the muscle cars are all drifters either.
Yes.
Especially when like you would think that the tuner cars, all the tuner cars that are all mostly Swifts or rockets, I guess.
Why is the
you would think that
they would be not a rally car?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a lick of sense, but whatever.
What is Technetium?
It's a balanced.
Wait, what? Wait, hang on. I just blacked out when you said that. It's a balanced?
Yeah, Technetium is balanced.
Drifter, I could see. The balance is a little weird.
Yeah, I can see Drifter. But, like, it should have been off-road.
Is, what was the other car that was released with that?
Pile Driver.
Pile Driver,
That's off-road.
Yeah. That's off-road? That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, that's gotta be off-road.
And it's got some weird traction issue, but...
Oh, does it?
Apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Does it have the bottoming out issue that some cars had?
I think it's slightly different.
Interesting.
But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk. That's not what we're talking about.
Getting off topics. Getting off topics. The name of the game. We got to make sure that we get this one all the way out to like an hour and a half, or else all the Nitrox people will be like, "Wow, they favor Acceleron. How could they?" No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's however long it's going to be. If it's shorter or longer, then it is what it is. But
Well, we just say what we need to say. Sometimes we say it faster.
Or slower. And considering the fact my voice is quitting on me right now, we'll see how long this one goes.
We'll make it.
Race 1. The only shared race of the season with Acceleron, except for the last race. I just
was about
remembered.
to say,
So
except for the
never
last
mind.
one.
The last race is also shared. But, yeah. So, World Race Unleashed. So, WRU Thunderdome. I don't know why I said the whole name. This track is by Mickey.
Don't know why either, but great track for Mickey. Like we had discussed from the Acceleron video.
Yes. Just copy paste all that. Great track. Collision zones. Collisions off. Let's see what else. Akina section is cool. I'm kidding. I'm not trying to just totally abbreviate it, but it's a great track. It's a great track, and very fitting start to the league being on this track.
I mean, this track really combines all the things that the league really is supposed to embody. It combines, you know, Cobalt's Globe, the Accelodrome, and aspects from the World Race playset all in one. And it really has a good spirit of its own. It's the spirit of the league, in my opinion.
I like that take.
Indeed.
I do like that take. So, yeah.
Footloose, the philosopher.
Sometimes he destroys worlds. Other times he destroys minds. My voice gave out. God damn it. Okay. So, race 1.
Yes. These guys. These crazy Swifts.
Let's see. Swift, phony Swift, phony Swift, balanced. Phony Swift, balanced. Rocket? What is
Rocket.
Or oh, that's
last
right.
two are
That's right. That is a rocket. My bad. Yes.
That's Yoda.
Yeah. I'm dumb.
As you can see, Matthias getting that first place victory.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Wolf Racer debut got second.
Yep.
And
RJ,
both.
you yourself got third. In
Yeah,
that
both of
big
you
ass
guys
bus.
got to race.
Yeah. RJ, what did you think of this track?
It was really fun when I drove it, but unfortunately I fucked up on, I believe it was the second lap. I just crashed completely on my own and had to recover from there.
I know that on lap 1.
Solid recovery to get back to third, or just stay in third.
I know that
Yeah, I was
on
back
lap
to third and I had to pass a bunch of people.
At the second turn of the Octonus section, I tapped the wall, forcing myself to slow down. And then I also witnessed, like, Joda, I believe it was just Joda, he got absolutely destroyed by the outside wall where it goes from not a wall to a wall.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and then I even watched his POV when I was editing it. He tapped the wall with his back wheel, flipped around, and because he was boosting, he just boosted right back towards the way he came.
Devastating.
It was awful.
RJ, did you get to race closely with F1 Wolf Racer?
Yes, for a bit.
What'd you think of his
It
debut?
was very, extremely impressive debut considering this is his first time in the league, getting podium on his first run.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have
crazy.
I got to do an event with him and Advanced and some of the other rookies. Wolf of Vengeance hosts an event that ran right before the season. And I went in there and I was like, I knew they were quick. So I wasn't sitting there like, oh yeah, I'm just going to win this. Also, Bizor was there. So, and I think maybe somebody else from the league. I can't remember who else. Obviously Wolf. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I feel like I could probably win this, but we'll see. And the person who ended up winning it by like one fucking point, it was ridiculously close, was F1 Wolf Racer. And I think right behind me, I was second. I think right behind me was Advanced. And that's when I was like, oh, okay, these rookies mean business. They're quick. Mm-hmm. They're like legit, very quick and good drivers. And I was really excited to see how they would do. And I was not surprised to see this.
The league. They are fucking fast.
Yeah, I was not surprised to see this outcome from Wolf.
Like,
super great run.
Like, especially with like those brand new drivers getting put into Swifts, they are fucking quick. Like, absolutely.
You don't even need the Swifts, man. They're just fast.
Yeah, they're just fast.
So we had Nader fourth. Did we cover the rest of the lineup? I can't remember.
I feel like I have to point this out.
No, yeah, good.
With Nader, because it's bugging my OCD. He's got the Teku background.
Oh yeah, and the Metal
Maniac profile.
Doesn't it say sauce, please? Or am I misreading that?
Yeah, that's the sauce, please.
I just had to say it because the mortal enemies together in one.
I mean, at the end of the fourth movie, they were kind of
yeah, they were friends at the end.
I also really love when people use tags that kind of go along with their name.
Yeah.
Like Lone Wolf, F1 Wolf Racer. It's so good. I fucking love it. I can't remember what mine is, but it relates a little bit. I don't remember what it was, though. My tag is. I don't know why I can't remember. But I know my logo is just pieces of bread hopping out of a toaster.
Yeah.
I love Stay in the Groove.
Yeah, that sounds like you.
It's the quote from Ignition Celeris's ignition.
Gotcha. All right, well, let's migrate over to the standings half of the screen. We ended this race with the
A
craziest,
tie.
the craziest points like I've maybe ever seen. Like
It's
we
pretty
had
wild over there.
Oh, trust
Shaded-
me, it gets weirder from here.
I know, but Shaded BSB are tied for first,
That's
and then
pretty cool.
Renegades are 1 point back. So it's basically a three-way tie for
It's
first.
neck and neck.
Yeah. Chroma Striders was a little bit back. 9 points back. And then
Yeah.
Fusions unfortunately conquered, and they ended up with the worst outcome possible for the first race.
Yeah,
But
I went while I was editing. I actually figured out what happened with Yoda. He would have gotten 7th, but he was too low at the last jump, and he just barely got stopped by that upper platform.
oh no!
And then that was enough time for both Yoda and Nura to just fly by him.
Oh
Right
no,
in.
that's such a bummer. I feel like Yoda has gotten unlucky a bunch. What are you gonna say?
Oh, I just said that was rough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Yoda's just had a rough time all around.
Gotcha. Yeah, so this is a very exciting start to the season, points-wise. I love to see it. Love to see a close competition, and I think this really kind of set the tone for what we're going to see throughout the season. So we'll head off to race 2. This is Shade of Speed. This is the Shaded Speeders team track, as you could probably guess. It was made by Exceller 23.
Yes.
So, you guys want to talk about this track?
It worked.
What you thought about it?
It had a little bit of jank to it.
Yeah.
Some of the turns I felt could have been done a little better, but in the end, it worked out. I'm
Did
not
it, though?
Saying that
Did
because
it?
of
Did it work out for you, Gunner?
I'm not saying that because of the standings. We'll get to that in a moment. But
I actually enjoyed watching this race. All things considered. We'll go ahead
yeah,
and
I know
look at the
early
results.
on one of the issues I actually had with it was there's like further on in that photo you can't see it because the track's covering it up, but there is a quad loop, and originally that had arch lights all across it.
Oh, yeah, I can see why that would be tough.
Yeah, and I already have like more sensitive eyes than most, so that shit was so blinding to me.
You would not be a massive fan of some sections of Astral Ascent.
I know. I
Or at
made
least
that thing. I've said that.
Oh,
as
that's
well.
right. That's right. You're with us on the
Yeah,
the
I'm
track
just like,
committee,
look.
of course.
You gotta tone that. You gotta tone those lights down, man.
Yeah, but hey, anyway. Yes.
I haven't had a whole lot of time on this track, and by that I mean I haven't raced it.
I know.
And by that I mean
but
none.
But from the picture, it looks like it's a really cool drift track, and it looks like something I would love to race.
we had one drifter in this race.
Let's see how it did.
Yeah, let's see how it did. Oh, look, third. The drifter got
Hey, holy shit!
Hey!
It's in third.
third.
G11
Oh, sorry,
was
we had
like,
two drifters.
crazy.
The other one was sixth.
or G11 was like, maybe I don't actually want to race in Bad to the Blade, and chose to run the Camaro. Got
And it
third.
worked.
Mm-hmm.
But let's
There.
at the top though, Gunner, but the W just barely too. It was
Just
Yoda
barely.
was on your ass.
He was. It was. I don't even think it was a second difference. Like he was right there.
I'm not gonna lie, I was rooting for him.
Oh, I know. If he had pulled ahead of me and got the win, that would have been fine.
I was rooting for him. I wanted
Like
him.
I would have been okay with that result. I think what happened was on that last turn, I think he went a little too wide and hit the wall, and that slowed him down too much. I could be wrong,
Gotcha.
but he did
Just
go
stay-
wide. I know that for certain.
Should have stayed in the groove.
All right, maybe I don't want to be on this broadcast anymore. Yeah.
God damn
Yoda
it.
obviously got second. He raced very well. You could even hear in like the voice chat at the end. We've got it recorded because people recorded the VC. It was just cheers all around for like the two of us, like between the two of us specifically.
Yeah,
It
because
so
it was
great.
non-Swifts. No
Yeah.
Swifts. Actually, well, okay, so here's the thing. Here's the tricky thing. There were only 2 Swifts, quote unquote, in this race.
Yeah.
Mickey was
Dasher
5th.
got screwed hard.
Oh, that's right. Dasher got royally screwed over.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Lap
that's
1, there's a split after the quad loop, and you do the split, and then they're supposed to jump across on the further track pieces. And when he went across, when he landed, his car bounced.
How
Nobody
high?
else bounced.
Enough to flip him upside down, if I recall correctly. It really screwed his race over.
Wow. That's just that's an unfortunate physics engine milestone moment right there.
Yep.
And earlier on in the race, actually, speaking of like physics, like my fucking reverb, the first loop, we've all fall down. My car for some reason did a whole front flip.
Yeah, that was wild too. I thought your race was over in that moment, but then it was not. And I was
My
like,
heart
oh,
stopped
wow.
when my car started to flip.
Yeah, I'm sure. So this was Oops, sorry, go ahead.
Like, it was just wild. Like, there was a few people who crashed.
Yeah, there
Like-
was. It was. I mean, it was like you said. The track had a bit of jank. I mean, the track's creator ended up in 10th, oddly enough.
I know exactly why, too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so, at the Cobra,
Right.
when he went into it, some part of his car clipped the Cobra's mouth.
Oh no, that's
And
not
then
good.
his
That's probably
car
a
got
nasty
into it
respawn
upside
too.
down, and as soon as he flipped over, I think it was more of like a panic. He boosted and then jumped, and he accidentally jumped right over it. So he fell off the track.
Dang.
So, complete misfortune.
Gotcha. Well, this was a great day for Hyperspace Renegades, who jumped the other 2 all the way up to first place, 35 points, a 6-point
those two are
advantage.
still tied.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Fucking BSB and Shaded Speeders were like, fuck it, we'll stay tied.
Yeah. That's crazy to see that they're tied twice in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
And
then,
then obviously CS 27, Fusions 22.
yes, just
But,
2
like,
points
the point
back.
disparity between those 4 teams is so close to each other.
Oh yeah. It's all really, I'd say everyone's neck and neck. And
Yeah. With HSR,
For
of
sure.
course, getting that jumpstart lead. But even then, that's only 6 points from second.
Yep, that's nothing. Like, you can, it really is nothing. I mean, we watched Carlworks lose 14 points in a week.
Yeah.
Like, it can happen so fast. It's anybody's game. Even Fusions is really not that far back.
Mhm.
At this point, not that far back at all.
RJ, do you have anything to say?
Did you run
about
this track,
your
RJ?
team?
This was the only track I didn't run in the first 5 of the season. That being said, I am extremely happy with how my fellow teammates did with this race in particular, both
Yeah, they
getting
did
the
fantastic.
upper half.
Yeah, that's a big deal considering how close everybody actually was, right?
Yeah.
That's huge. So that was a big win for you guys. So next track, Industrial Riot. This is a track made by your boy Gore.
And it was collisions on.
And this is a
How do we
collisions on
explain
race.
this clusterfuck?
This week 3 was just the week of drama with the Rise Up debacle, and then this race being collisions on. I personally didn't think it was really going to be that big of a deal, but then I forgot that the first couple corners are pretty aggressive. So
Yeah.
Yeah, the corners are
Like,
tight and
the
fast.
biggest piece of desync that happened that weekend was here on, let's see, which turn was it?
it was one of the first few.
5. It
Turn,
was turn
yeah.
5. Because there were 4 cars that experienced, there were 4 drivers that experienced 4 different things. And I believe it was Yoda who got the worst of it, where he had
Yes.
the other 3 drivers pushing against him, and he was pushed off the track
Yes.
over a wall.
Yeah, Yoda feels unlucky. Like, obviously we know he's fast because he got that second place on Shaded Speed.
Like, he's fast, he's a good
Holy
driver.
moly,
That's
unlucky.
just unlucky.
Because that crash was crazy. Like, just all 3 of them together, and that crash happened, and ended up still 7th. It's really not bad.
Yeah.
We had Misfortune from Death Dragon, who had crashes of his own, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
And G11 in Bad of the Blade, and Kami in the Camaro. Subbing for
He
who?
was subbing for CS.
Yes, Chroma Striders. So that was always bound to be, tough for them. Those cars are not very good at all.
Who was supposed to race for us?
That was supposed to be Loner, but he was visiting family on that day.
Gotcha.
I see.
RJ, you got your invite on this one.
Yep.
Passed down for Matthews, right between the split image and reverb.
Yep. You found your way back to the podium as well. How was this race for you guys? Imagine you were pretty close to each other for the most part.
Early on, we were close, but then I took some of my turns wider, and I lost them.
Gotcha.
It was mainly just a back and forth between me and Matthews. I feel like.
Yeah, so were you guys close for most of the race, the two of you, like battling for the lead? I don't remember the
Pretty
video,
much.
honestly. Gotcha.
Yeah. Doesn't help that I don't record POVs anymore because my PC's just can't handle it for some reason anymore.
Oh,
so I
not
just
too bad.
Like a Mac PC
Yeah.
is.
Was this Killer Frost's first Nitrox appearance?
It was.
Yes.
And he got
Fourth place is a solid race, too.
with his
Absolutely.
teammate Judas in 5th.
It's a great
Yeah.
performance for both of them.
Yeah.
And Edward made his debut, got 6th. That's a good run for the most part.
Mhm.
Top 6 is where you want to be. If you get both drivers in the top 6, that's a good day, pretty much no matter what.
Yeah.
Yoda had the earlier mentioned Misfortune was 7th, and we covered the rest of them. So yeah, this was a very interesting race, and we also see like a bit of a slight change in the points for a couple of them actually. So HSR holds on to first. G11's Bad to the Blade experience didn't help the point situation, and Shaded Speeders had a good day with both first and 6th. So they got within one, not within one, exactly 1 point apart. The tie finally broken with BSB, who was not far back, only 5 points off of them. Chroma Striders got her keeping the team in competitive territory at this point, only 2 points behind BSB. And then Fusions getting very unlucky, but both of them crashing. They're now kind of behind a bit.
That is unlucky.
I feel like that's actually kind of been the theme of their season. Dasher crashed, Yoda crashed, Death Dragon, I think, crashed, if I recall correctly.
I think there's not been one race so far that Fusions haven't had some sort of a crash in.
Yeah, it's been a recurring thing for them, it seems.
Trust me, they're not doing it for the bit.
No, this isn't a joke you want to have, because it's like, this is your team.
Yeah.
If you don't do well in this league, your team gets
Nitrox.
eliminated.
Yeah. 4th
Yep.
and 5th will be eliminated and replaced.
Yep.
at the
And
end.
Nitrox, you drive to survive.
Literally, yes.
And in first and second, inversely, they go up to Acceleron. So
and in third is just safe.
You just hang out.
You're alive.
Live the race another day.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yep. So, this still very close between the top 4 after this race. And it's just Fusions. The misfortunes finally get into them. They're falling back a bit. All right. So we'll head on off to the next race. Dark Matter Run. RJ, it's your track, right?
Yep. This is Hyperspace Renegade's home turf.
It's a great track. I don't remember why. I think I was actually racing it, like driving it just for this this picture. A really fun track. I like how you used the tunnel area. Like the big, I'm not familiar with acceleracers at all. I don't know anything about this room. So that big tunnel thing that juts off of the main room. I like how you used that because you didn't just drive through it. It was built in jumps and little cuts and stuff, and it felt like it was uniquely technical while still being fast and a straight shot through it. I liked it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to go for. But overall, I think I could have gone a bit more overboard with it because, after a bit, it just kind of gets a bit stale, even for me. So it's like.
Yeah, what I liked about this track though was, how to really be an expert at it, you had to memorize where everything was at such high speed. Because this track is a speed tech track, which I know that most people really aren't really fond of much anymore.
I don't think fond is the right word.
The others.
Speed tech just feels right in this game. The problem is that we just see it constantly. That's the only issue.
Yeah.
And that's not even a knock on this track. I really like how this track is done. I'm just saying, I think that's the only stigma against speed tech is just that a lot of tracks are speed tech now.
Yeah.
But that's not a problem. It's a milestone issue. If we want them to be more diverse, Milestone should let us do more with our tracks and things like that. Stuff.
Yeah.
Things. I'm repeating myself in broken record. Lost it. Anyway, great track. Well, I don't remember how this race went. Oh, now I do. Well, I wonder why that is.
Getting the first place and the invite.
Yeah, Joda in the pseudo Swift. And then RJ, second place again. How many? Do you have a lot of seconds this season? You've been second every race?
Yeah.
I've only not been
that's right.
second place in the first race. Which
That's
I got
right,
third.
that's right.
But even then, I've gotten a podium in every single race I've been in this season so far.
You and Bizor have had very similar seasons. Bizor has been in second in everything he's done so far this season as well. And he was telling me about it last week, and I was like, holy shit, I didn't even notice. But yeah, he's been second constantly.
Yeah.
F1 Wolf Racer's back on the podium. Dude's quick. Matthias finally doesn't win. Fourth place. Then we had Gunner. You were sitting there in fifth. Spleezu was in sixth. Gambler in seventh.
The other reverb.
Yep, the other reverb. Reverb. Yoda must have had some misfortune, sitting down there in eighth. Death Dragon also probably had some misfortune and sitting in ninth. And then that's Talon, right?
Yeah, that's Talon.
Talon in 10th. So, what do you guys remember? Anything notable from this race? you guys can think of?
Not in particular, but if I do recall here, I recall Death Dragon saying he actually raced completely clean that entire race.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Interesting.
It's just that close of a race usually on this track specifically. I
Gotcha.
feel like.
I would have been closer to 4th. However, on lap 2, I accidentally took the first turn too wide. And that was the only time I went wide on any turn, and because of that, I couldn't catch up. Like, that one turn was all it took.
Gotcha.
I know that at some point Spleesu had crashed as well, somewhere. Can't remember off the top of my head, but he crashed somewhere because he would have been 5th, I believe.
How'd Gambler do? Do you have any issues or usual desync trouble?
It's another thing where it's like, I don't really remember if anything actually happened with him in the race. I think the desync start's always just gonna be a thing for him, for the time being anyway, but...
Hopefully it goes away at some point. Gotcha. Well, that, whoa, sorry. The updated points after this race continues to be close at the top.
Very close.
Shaded Speeders, were they already in the lead, or?
No.
No, they pulled ahead.
It's a back and forth.
So they pulled ahead here. They got up by 4 points. Oh, duh, this is right here. Duh. Brady, you idiot. So, up by 4 points on Hyperspace Renegades now. And then BSB just kind of holds station in the middle. Only 11 points back from the lead, though, so it's still very close, all things considered.
Yeah.
And even Chroma Striders, only 20 points back, that's still very doable.
Yeah, like, I feel like Nitrox has just kind of proved more that's like, when there's more on the line, people are like more willing to be like super, like, competitive. Oh, hit my mic again. And like everything's just a lot closer in Nitrox than it is in Acceleron.
I think Acceleron would be closer, but we're dealing with some unusual situations, kind of preventing it from being what you would expect it to be, if that makes sense. I don't think that's necessarily like a... I think the Acceleron races would be very close if some misfortune didn't happen, if that makes sense. But I hear what you're saying. It is very close in general. I think Fusions is just lagging back just because of bad luck, really. Really holding them back in a big way, just being unlucky.
Yeah, that's the only... Like, that's the main enemy of Fusions, is just Lady Luck, just does not like them.
But there's always a chance they can turn in the back half of the season. We've only seen... I guess we can get more into that here in a moment, but we've only seen Dasher once or twice so far this season, and you may have to imagine that changes here soon. So, All right, well, let's head off to last week's race.
Rally Alley.
Alley.
I was supposed to race this one.
Yeah, you were supposed to.
Unfortunately, my power went out.
Yeah,
and your phone was dead too.
Yeah. It was
one
unfortunate.
of the...
My phone died because my power was out and it wasn't charging. It was a brutal
double whammy. I guess one of the good things about this, definitely not being the first time recording this bit, is I hyped up the fact that Foot was racing this in the definitely non-existent recording of this video. But he didn't end up racing, and I was like, well, shit. But, hey, didn't end up being a problem because we're here now, actually recording, and we know what happened.
And Nura stepped up.
Yeah.
And took my spot. Thank you for doing that.
Do you get your 2 races in the back half of the season, Foot?
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Gotcha. Do you have a track you want to race? Out of curiosity, or I guess you don't have to say anything because you don't want to give away when you would want to race.
Yeah.
So I guess that's fair. You don't have to say anything, but
You can let me know later.
hopefully you've got some tracks in mind. We'd be pretty hyped to see you. Wow, that's a familiar podium.
Yeah.
So, Matthias and RJ and Joda.
Yeah.
How was this race, RJ?
It was extremely close between freaking me, Joda, and Nadius. Like, I think we all finished not even half a second within each other. It was that close.
Were you guys doing the thing where you like launch off the green on that last corner and then fly to the finish line?
Yes.
I bet that was really, really tense to watch, especially with collisions on. I bet that was crazy. We're recording before the videos have come out, so I've not seen all the POVs. So I bet that was. I'm looking forward to watching that video to see how that went, because I know it was close for you guys.
Oh yeah. Race 5 videos for both Acceleron and Nitrox will be going up on Tuesday once everything's done.
Yeah, and then we had Dasher has a more normal race. I think he still had an issue though, didn't he?
I think so.
Something happened to him.
Yeah, something happened. And then right behind him, TJ, Fusion's got a massive bump in points.
Yep, they needed that big time too.
They did.
Both those are both the Lancias, right?
Yep.
Yeah, both
Yeah,
of
those are both the Lancias. So both cars are kind of made for this kind of race. They were 5th and 6th, which is good. It's where you want to be. Like I said, that's the area you want to be in for good points.
A sweet spot.
Gunnar, what happened?
Myself.
Gunnar, what happened?
I fucked up twice. Both were my fault.
Gotcha. Spleezu ran this race as well. He also had some issues, I'm assuming?
What happened to him?
I don't remember what happened there. I think Dandoob had no issues, and he absolutely adored this track, if I recall correctly. I mean, I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure Dandoob definitely didn't mess up a few times, and he definitely didn't say that he loved the track afterward. Wait, did I say that wrong?
He totally didn't try to sabotage my practice at all. Totally didn't. Not a single lat dash was thrown.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Yeah, Dandoob had a rough race and cursed the track. So we'll see what that means for the track later on.
Pull that shit while the race was actually going on.
And then Nura. So I'm guessing Nura's issue was low on practice.
Yeah, because he didn't get in on any of the practice runs.
Gotcha. So, I mean, that's an understandable outcome considering
it was kind of like last
Foot
time.
was
Like,
supposed to race.
you're on. Get in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough, but respect for going in there.
Yeah, like anything like that where it's like, hey, we gotta drag you in. I know you had no practice, but we need the manpower. Like, I'm not gonna get angry at placements.
Like, I would take Nura in the Nissan 400Z over somebody else in the Camaro any day.
Yeah, especially on this track. Yeah.
Yeah, any day. Like, it's a good thing that you were able to field them. It's like, unfortunately it didn't pan out, but the potential was there, right? Because the Camaro sucks. It's really bad. It's maybe a little too bad, in my opinion. So, at least he was able to get out there. So that brings us to our
current standings.
Current standings. So as we stand, Shaded Speeder just gained a bit here with a good showing from Matthias once again, and also
Joda with the first.
Yes, Joda, of course, double podium. So that gives them a 10-point advantage now over Hyperspace Renegades. And BSB kind of had a tougher day. Like, TJ is one of the drivers, right? No, it was Spleezu and Dandoob. So they suffered, and they fell back a bit. So they're now, they're 28 points back. That is like not. They're like 2 races back.
Yeah, in this race, the teams that suffered the most were BSB and CS.
Yeah, so BSB, that really hurt them. They could not afford to have a really bad week, and unfortunately they dropped well back of first place. And I say that as like, it's a 10-race season. You have 5 races left. It's obviously not over, but BSB is going to have to slowly chop down that lead every week to try and get back to first. Because they're a full race behind now. So they're going to have to step up.
A shot of coming back.
Fusion's had a great day, right? Is that what you said, Fusions?
Yeah, they had a great day, and I think they have a great shot of like bouncing back in this next half.
Yeah, I think so. Especially if Dasher's able to get out there and race a bit more.
Yeah, because I know that these next 5 tracks, from what I can recall, there's not they're mostly pretty smooth drives.
Yeah.
So, and considering that his team's got Swifts, a lot of rockets, I'm pretty sure that Fusions can take advantage of those. Once again, I don't really know off the top of my head, but but they should be able to put up a fight now.
Yeah, and Chroma Striders is really not too far off of BSB at this point. Stayed in range, which is good because you're trying to, obviously you want to win, but the other objective is to not finish 4th or 5th.
Current objective, survive.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Like, I know that's kind of like, it's like, obviously it's like, which teams are going to win, which teams are going to advance Acceleron, but I'm more interested in which teams are going to fight the hardest to just survive.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how we've got BSB, CS, and Fusions, and there's a 9-point gap, a 7-point gap. It's really close between those 3.
It's gonna be. We got ourselves set up for a duel down here towards the end of the season.
It's going to come down to the wire by the last race of the season, Cosmic Drift.
Mm-hmm. Like, Acceleron, I'm not saying that it looks locked up, that BHR and Conk are getting demoted, because it's definitely not locked up at all. But that looks a little more certain in terms of point gaps than this even more critical battle to even just survive. We got 3 teams within a total of 16 points of one another. That is a close grouping, and I think that'll make for a good storyline to watch. If you're looking for storylines, that's going to be one to watch, on top of, obviously, the battle for the win between what looks like Shaded Speeders and Hyperspace Renegades. But again, it's only half the season, and you could flip this point standings totally on its head, and it could have a 5-way tie at the end of the season. It's not
God, I hope it's not a 5-way tie.
Unheard of,
We didn't plan for that.
There's enough time left in the season to do all these points again, but reverse it so that it's, equal. So you never know. We'll see what happens. Right now, as of right now, we got ourselves an interesting points battle across all of Nitrox.
Yep, we do. And if we look over to the right, we can see all the 4 people who have the invites.
Yep, just Matthias, Gunner, RJ, and Yoda. So we have half of the Nitrox finale recipients
correction. That's not the actual Yoda.
That's not Yoda.
That's
the fuck? That's Joda. Who goofed that?
I think they're doing a name swap
and
thing
Joda.
at the time.
They did it together
this time.
Oh, that really fucked me up. God damn it, guys. That really messed me up. You're right. They did switch. So Joda, obviously. Joda is the finale.
Yep. That's not
my bad.
Not Yoda. Yoda.
Yes. People pick the worst times to do stuff like that. God damn it. You really just made me look like an idiot.
Don't worry.
I'm a whiny host. I'm the sad whiny host who just got exposed for being a dummy.
Hey, it's okay.
If you made it this far in the video, type "Bread's a dummy" in chat, and also maybe leave some feedback if you have any feedback,
Maybe you can leave a toaster.
or yeah, something like that.
Toaster.
Yeah. So that's where we're at. What do you guys think about the first half of the season so far?
I think it's went really
It's-
well.
It's very close.
Fusions
It's
have had
any-
the roughest streak of luck that I think we've seen,
Ever?
period, out of any WRU seasons.
I think it's anyone's race still.
And yeah, considering that, like Brett said, it's like roughly a 16-point difference between any of these teams. So Nitrox, there's really a lot that could happen, and we're just gonna have to wait for the next 5 races to figure that out.
Holy shit! Is that
What?
I just glanced over at Formula One, and Lando Norris is leading right now. Could he win his first ever race finally?
Oh,
Not Max
yeah.
Verstappen
I might be kind of crazy. Yeah, Verstappen's in second.
crazy.
in the second.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder. It must have been some kind of pit strategy swap. I'm shocked.
What lap are they on?
41 of 57. Oh, someone's coming into
Oh.
pits. Who just pulled off to go to pit? Oh, it's Piastri. Okay, I thought I saw an orange car. I was like, oh my god, is he pitting? Okay, never mind. Yeah, they got about 15 laps left. That's gonna be interesting to watch. Oh, sorry, Hot Wheels. Yeah. So there we go. That's
Sorry, we got
the
distracted with some of the hotter wheels.
yeah. We had the. Sorry, I'm trying to stretch this video out to 90 minutes so that the Nitrox drivers don't get mad at me for cutting them short a little bit.
God, Brett, how could you do that to us?
I'm sorry, man. I don't know.
Do this to us.
I don't know. I don't know. I just ran out of content. I'm sorry. We talked about a lot of general stuff in the Accelerator
did.
video, which is why this one's a little shorter. So this one might actually be longer if you look at just like we had fewer random tangents on this one. It was more focused on just the league, so maybe there might even be more like just direct league time in this video than the last one. But yeah, I think we've said about all we have to say. You guys anything to add about how things have gone so far?
You know, I've got one thing that I have to add, but RJ, if you want to go first.
Pardon?
You have anything to
you have
say
anything
about
that-
this season? You guys have any predictions? Yeah, here's a good one. Since I got only Nitrox guys here, do you guys have any predictions on who you think's going to win this season?
Well,
Hard question.
RJ, I want to hear RJ's opinion first.
Well, if Shade Speeders keeps up their if they optimize their use of members on the team properly, they could definitely end up taking the whole season. And the same could go for our team as well, though. So, who knows?
I
Could be anyone's game.
was expecting to see something more like, yeah, it's us. I respect it. I respect the humble approach. I like that. Gunnar, what do you think?
Trying
You have
to
any
be
predictions?
It's really close call depending on how these next races go, because of how everyone's so close together for points. Everyone's going to be really gunning for those like top 5 positions, really.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, I think what I would say the two teams that have the best shots, I'm gonna be honest, gonna be HSR and Shade Speeders. I think those are the two that's got the best shots of either winning the league, winning Nitrox League, and getting promoted.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really. It's like if Fusions can really push back against all of their bad luck, I think they can get maybe 3rd or even 2nd. And it's just kind of like that fight for 3rd is kind of like what I'm more like speculating on, because it's just everyone there is just like really together.
Yeah. The fight
And,
for
like, even
third.
Yeah, because like, even if CS
Yeah.
goes down, like let's say we get fourth, we are fighting hard anyway. So I think that's just enough to be like, I'm happy with that. But like I said, it's a lot more of like we have to see what happens in these next 5 races.
Mm-hmm.
I think Shaded Speeders could dominate if they play their cards right. But I'm not gonna count us out entirely. I think I'm not gonna be unrealistic. I don't think we're gonna take first place. But I do think that we can survive this season for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I hope we can survive.
Oh, absolutely.
We just
We
have
can do
to get all of our stuff together.
Exactly.
Cool. Well, if I had to make a prediction, I think that BSB is staying in third. Boom. Okay.
That's your only prediction.
That's it.
BSB is eternally stuck in Nitrox. They can never be promoted.
You will never promote, and you will never
You
die.
won't let me live. You won't let me die.
You will live in purgatory for all eternity.
BSB lives in infamy.
I kind of want that.
Return the flag. Return the win.
Return the franchise, or suffer my curse.
Return
my
the
property.
bean. We need to get the beans back.
All right. Well, I think we've covered just about everything we need to cover. Unless you guys can think of something good to talk about to stall 3 more minutes to get to that 90-minute mark, we can go ahead and I'd say wrap this up.
You know, Brad. I
What
think.
about next week's race for Nitrox? Race.
Oh.
Waste
Next
race?
week.
That's next video,
Right.
bud. You're getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah, that is next week.
What's wrong with you? That's the next video, and we're definitely not recording it today. And I mean that. That's not a joke. I can't do another recording.
I can
think I'll
change shirts
fucking
real
die.
quick.
No.
Give up
No. Keep your shirt on. Keep your shirt on.
You know, Brad. I think there's one more thing that.
Do you have something for me, Foot?
Do you have something for
Destroyer of Worlds.
What does Footloose the Destroyer
Yeah.
have to tell us?
I do. Cinco de Mayo.
Okay, with that, have a good one, everyone. Thanks for watching the second episode of the Bread's Bakery broadcast. To slow down to that alliteration, I feel like an idiot.
We'll figure it out.
Well, yeah, it's whatever. Thanks for coming. If you have, comment, do the comments thing down below.
Subscribe.
Subscribe if you want to see more of
Give us
these.
some feedback that we all deserve.
Yeah, do give me some feedback because I could use it. I have lots of stuff I want to do in the future.
Program
but
is important to us.
Hey, Brad.
What?
The Triple B podcast.
No, it
Could be
sucks.
worse.
I don't want to call it the Better Business Bureau. Yeah, fuck it. We're done. See you guys. Have a good one.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
I'll see you all in therapy.